is 1 o'clock on Thursday, so that means time for a video. So let me go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping on the left here to be sure that we're actually on the air, as it were. And let's try that again. Let's see if it's doing its thing. Come on now. Come on now. Nope, it doesn't seem to be happy. Well, what do we got going here? Yeah, it shows it, but it's not loading up on the left. And the only problem with that is it means I can't see when you're here and leaving me a comment. So I'm going to go out of there and try again. Otherwise, I feel like I'm running blind. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? All right, let's see what we can get over here. Huh. It is simply not showing it, is it? Well, that is just as bizarre a thing as I've seen in a long time. I am on YouTube, right? Am I on YouTube? Yes. Are you guys watching me on YouTube? I see you, Faith. I just can't see any comments because my computer, the YouTube on my computer, is not acknowledging the fact that I am live. I guess I'm in YouTube, right? Y'all, somebody give me a thumbs up if we're in YouTube. Did you come to YouTube? Yep. See you and hear me. Okay, I am on loud and clear. Okay, well, so I will occasionally try to refresh my computer, but here's the dealio. The computer, the phone, which is where I can see your comments right now, is above my eyesight, so I cannot see any comments. So, Rosie, if there's something important, answer it and maybe take note, and I will try to get back with everybody. And I will occasionally refresh on the other side of the world over here and see if maybe it's just having like a day. You know, sometimes everybody has a day, right? Everybody has a day. And today appears to be YouTube's day. I don't know. I wonder if I have some kind of this weird thing set here. No, I don't know. Well, shoot fire. Okay, well, I'm going to just start, and then, you know, it is what it is. If there's a comment that I can't see, I am so sorry, and I apologize. All right, now this card is a fun fold. Here's what we're going to be working on today. It's a thank you card, and you can see it's got a front, and it's got a back. Your friendship means the world to me. It's from Gathering Moments. I've mostly used the Gathering Moments bundle, which is an online exclusive. But I did also use this beautiful die cut from Amber Autumn because it is wonderful and I love it. But that's all I used from the Amber Autumn bundle that's in the mini catalog. Okay, so this little card has a bit of a secret. It is a triple panel display card. And so that's how it stands up. And it is, in fact, a beautiful display. It's a little bit like an easel. It is, in fact, an easel. We have an easel stop here made with some leaves. And hopefully you are liking this. You can see where I put this die cut from Amber Autumn on a piece of the earthen toned metallic paper. I really love it. And I've used it as my matting for this whole card. All right. So this card I've seen a few places. I saw one on Susan Campfield's site, but there weren't any instructions or measurements that I could find easily, and so I kind of cobbled it together looking at the pictures. So hopefully it will all be good and you'll be able to see it tomorrow on my blog. So let's put this aside and we'll get started. So I am using the Gathering Together DSP predominantly, and the earthen toned metallic paper, and some pecan pie cardstock. So the card base itself is a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece, and we're going to score it. I need my little doohickey to come out here. Let me do a quick refresh, see if it woke up. No, it really didn't. It's just being quite bizarre today. I don't know what the dealio is. Okay, so we're going to make 2 scores. And the first one is going to be at 1 1/4. 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Make sure you use that light gray tool or you will have a much smaller piece very quickly. And then the second one will be at 6 3/4. And that is all we need this little guy for a minute. Now, the way this folds is you fold them, both of the folds are in. They both go in towards the inside. Give that a good burnish and turn it around. Okay. So you can see that's the start of our card. So now we're really just going to do some matting of some DSP on, well, you know, on mats. That's why they call it matting. So I picked a few different ones that I really like from the Gathering Moments. It's hard to find one that I don't like, really. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, I can't believe you used all that metallic paper. Well, if you want, if you have other cards that you're going to make, you can cut out the die cuts from the center. I don't like to do that on anything that I might be trying to write on, though, okay? Because that makes it hard. When you write, it kind of gets all bumpy and stuff, and that's no good. Okay, so this piece right here goes on what will be the front when the card is closed. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. It's really it's mostly a lot of cutting and adhering. That's what this card is all about. Here, I was trying to fix it so I could see where center was. It was hard to see it right there. Okay, so there's that piece. And then this is my easel. So I'm going to put that aside, and there's my easel stop. We'll put that aside for just a minute, and we can get these guys adhered as well. All right, so you guys know that the joining special is going on. I'm getting some folks joining up. Oh, that doesn't look right, does it? Nope, that is not right at all. Oh no, what did I do? I have 4 inches. Is this not long enough? That is also 4. As it turns out, that will not work. You cannot put 4 and 4. So I believe this is correct, and this needs to be 1/8 of an inch shorter. So let me fix that right here, right now. See, I'm going to tell you, I have a little problem. I work best when I am time crunched and behind, okay? And I don't know why that is, but it's a true thing. But today I was, I don't know, I felt wrongly like I was ahead. I'd been really being efficient and effective and getting stuff done. And so I had everything all ready way early. And as you can see, I didn't do it very well. So I guess what I need to do is just always be behind, and I will do much better for you guys. Okay, so this just goes up here at the top of the easel. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do the back liner, because it's a lot easier adhering that when it doesn't have anything else on it. All right, so I have a piece of basic beige. I really do kind of like using basic beige in place of white or vanilla. I especially like it when you put it with a piece of DSP that does nicely, that has basic beige in it. Okay, so I am going to stamp Your Friendship Means the World to Me, and I'm going to do it in Cajun Craze and hope I can get it straight. And y'all, I'm not going to fib. There are some things I'm going to miss about red rubber stamps, but trying to do a straight sentiment on camera with a red rubber stamp, that is not one of the things that I will miss. Okay, so here we go. Everybody hold your breath, hold your right hand up and your left hand down, and wiggle your right toes. And let's see if I can get that straight. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yay! Yay! All right, now we're going to stamp a leaf, this one, in fact, and we're going to stamp it in Stamped Off Once Crushed Curry right over the top, because not Stamped Off Once is a little too stout. There we go. And then I'll just adhere this to the back of the card base, making sure I put it right side up. There we go. Okay, good. That is correct, so I can put it right side up. Yay! I was going to ask you if you guys had any big plans for the weekend, how things are going, what the weather was like, but since I can't see if you are answering or anything like that, I'm not going to do it, because that would be very frustrating for both of us, I suspect. Thank you, YouTube. Is Mark Zuckerberg in charge of YouTube? I think so, because these things go badly a lot of times for him. Okay, now let's go ahead and do what is the inside here. We'll get that matted up. Love, love, love this plaid. It's beautiful. Oh, I saw a pretty card. Did y'all see the blog hop today and Akiko Sudano's card? She made a beautiful card using amber. It was either Beautiful Pumpkins or Amber Autumn. And she made a gorgeous, I can't remember which one now. She made a gorgeous fall card with the flip side, with this gold side of this paper. It was gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, here we go. And we'll just put this on here. Now this is where our easel stop is going to go, and we're getting close to making that. So stand by. See, you really get a lot with that earth and I love the earth and tone metallic paper. I hope it sticks around a really long time. Okay, next up we have our beautiful die cut. Now all I did here was I just took a 3 7/8 inch by 4 1/8 or 5 1/8 piece of pecan pie cardstock, and I cut the that solid die out. It's not solid obviously, but it's a big die right from the center of it. I didn't do a very good job right there, but that's okay. It'll be okay. I'll get it out. I'll get it out because I can. And then I'm just going to use some liquid glue. And yes, I know I always say this. If you guys want to use adhesive sheets, you are welcome to do that. You just put the adhesive sheet on the back. And what I would do is I'd put a strip and a strip and a strip and a strip so that you don't have like solid adhesive sheet. First off, you don't need it. And second, if you use strips, it makes it much easier to get the cover off of each of the pieces. But you know me, I'm going to use liquid glue. That's just how I roll. All right, I single-handedly keep the Tombow company in business. All right, get that off. Get off of there, hanging Chad. Dang it. Okay, here we go. And just a little bit along this edge. I might have been just a little bit uncentered on my die cut, but I think it will be okay. And then I thought I'd put a few inside here just to give a little bit of extra. Remember, with liquid glue, you do not need a ton. Its good thing, which is that it squishes, is also its bad thing because it also squishes, and you can squish yourself into a bit of a mess. I think the people who always tell me they hate liquid glue and can't use it and always get sticky are the ones who get a little carried away and treat it like the Elmer's glue that they used in kindergarten. And you really just don't need that much. They have done a very good job making this formulation. Okay, so we're going to center this. We're just matting this on here. Okay. You kind of want to be a little careful when you're using liquid glue and the metallic paper because the glue doesn't come off the metallic paper very well. All right, and then we'll just adhere this to the center of the back. The next thing we're going to do is make our easel panel. And I'm going to put it on, and then I'm going to show you how I did my easel stop, okay? It was a little bit, you may think it was a little harder, and there's probably like 12 ways to get the eagle stop, the eagle soars, the easel stop decorated, but the way I did it is the way that worked the best for me, so you can solve that riddle however you want. Okay, so now we're making the centerpiece. And again with the plaid on the earthen toned metallic paper. When I get done here, I've got to go to Chewy and buy some more little tiny greenies. I found these little tiny greenies. They're like this long and about as big around as my pinky. They're for little tiny dogs. And so now that is what Miss Addie gets at her lunch. For her lunch bone. Finn gets a regular size greenie, and she, wow, that does not look right at all, does it? Okay, this might not be right. Maybe this isn't right. Good. See what I'm telling you guys? I'm just saying. I cannot get ahead. It's not good for me. And it's obviously not good for you. Okay, so that should be a 5.5 piece. Let's see where we're really at. Oh, that would be 5 3/4. So let me remove 1/4 of an inch. Shall I? There we go. I bet it fits a lot better now. I'm just throwing that out there. I think it's going to fit much more better now. There we go. Oh, yes, indeed. Goodness gracious. Now, if you prefer, when you make this card, you can tighten up the margins a little bit. I used my normal margin, and by that I mean I measure the basic piece, the base of it, and then I take 1/4 of an inch off for the mat, and then 1/8 of an inch off of that for the DSP that goes on it. You could do 1/8 inch and 1/8 inch and just make the margins of the card base a little bigger if you prefer, or a little smaller if you prefer. That is 1001 time million% up to you. Okay, so for our easel, this is kind of a known quantity. It is going to be roughly there. This part is kind of up to you. You could center it, you could bring it to the side. I like it to the side. But this top edge is going to be lined right up with that score line, regardless of where you put it, okay? So you can just put some liquid glue up here, like that, about the same width as your easel, and then adhere it and just make sure that it is straight and flush with that top. Okay, so you can see, you can't see the top there, and it's all lined up, and that also coincidentally makes the mats line up around there. Okay, so now we have our easel ready to go. So our next piece is, for me, I think the next piece, the best thing to do next, is make the easel stop itself. So your first thing you're going to do here is you're going to determine where you want the card to stand up. Okay, and that is going to tell you where to put the easel stop. So by putting it right there, I'm going to get almost an upright easel, which is going to make the sentiment very easy to see. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm going to put it right about there. And this is how I did mine. You do yours however you want. I just kind of made note of where it was on here, and then I'm going to adhere that in place with dimensionals to start with. Okay, and then we will decorate it. And the reason for that is I'm decorating around where the easel is going to go. Still making sense? Okay, hopefully it will. Okay, we're gonna, don't be shy with the dimensionals when you're using them for an easel stop, because you want it to really kind of hold. Okay, so we'll get these off. And then what I did is I've got several, like 7 leaves stamped and cut out, and I'm just going to adhere them with liquid glue to this easel stop. Okay, so let me just do a quick check there and be sure that's where I still want it. I think that's pretty good right there. Actually, I think I'm going to move it up just a little bit so I have a little more decorating wiggle room. You know what I mean? A little more decorating wiggle room. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. But I'm using those, I'm using 2 things to get it straight. The lines on the DSP and the edges of the mat. As long as those look like they're lined up, that ought to be about right. Okay, that's good. So you can kind of see how that's going to be. Can you see how that's going to be? That's not very easy to do, but that's how it's going to be, just like that. Okay, so here's how I decorated. I've got all my leaves cut out, and these are in varying shades, mostly stamped off, varying shades of crushed curry and pecan pie for these guys, and Cajun craze for those guys. So here's what I did. I stood it up, and then I worked around it. You can see that easier on this. I keep refreshing over here like maybe it's going to wake up, but it isn't. So what I did, you see how I don't have anything right there with the leaves? So I put it standing up like this, and then I started adhering around it so that it has a straight place to go. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope so, because that's what I did, and I can't change it now. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to leave it up like that. Can you see it okay? Let me see what you can see. Yeah, you can pretty much see that. I'm going to take my, oops. I'm going to take my tweezers, and I'm just going to gently put, okay, guys, I need somebody to say something so I can tell that I'm still transmitting. Just somebody say, yes, we're still here. Something like that. I'm peering at my camera now. Oh, yes. Okay, somebody's still here. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. What die is the lovely filigree? Oh, that's Amber Autumn. That's the Amber Autumn set. Looks like this. And it also cuts out the, there's an acorn bunch and a pumpkin bunch that it cuts out, and then also a leaf and a grass, plus this filigree. There you go. Okay, good. Phew, I looked at it and I got to make an answer. Yay. I'm very annoyed. I'm not going to lie. I'm very annoyed with YouTube right now. Okay, so I'm just adhering this, and I'm making sure two things. First of all, that it doesn't impinge on my easel, and second, that it does not go over the edges of the card base. Two very easy things to ensure, and so you should be able to do that as well. Okay, so we'll try this little leaf next. Now, obviously, I know where I want all my leaves to go. Why? Because I'm looking at the sample, and I already did one. But when you do it, I highly recommend that you cut out a bunch of leaves and just kind of do some dry fitting until you get something that makes you happy. At some point, your brain says, aha, there it is. And that's when you start putting it down with real adhesive. All right, let's see, this wants to go right about there. And this is going to come right about there like that. We'll put it like that. There we go. Don't get out of whack. And then this guy is going to go right about here. And we'll put this guy right about there. Now see, this is where you put the easel matters. Because if I had put that easel where I first had it down here, I wouldn't have had room for that big pretty leaf without going over the bottom of the edge of the card base. Does that make sense? And you don't want to go over the edge of the card base, or all the work that you do to make it so that you can put it in an envelope is for naught. All right, we're going to put this guy on first. And you can see he goes above the top of the easel stop. So your easel stop becomes the solid piece upon which your easel works, but you don't need to particularly be concerned about whether everything is there. Okay, see how I'm going right up to the edge like that, so that I've still got a flat edge right there. I hope that's making sense to everybody. I'm sure it is, because y'all are smart. And then we'll put our final, I love these little guys in I made a couple of things like an acorn. Maybe I'll stick it on this one just because I can. An acorn in early espresso, but I wasn't in love with it, so I didn't do it. See, this is what these guys looked like in early espresso. It really almost looked black, and I just didn't love it, so I need my other tweezers. Okay, maybe this guy should come in. What do you guys think? Maybe? No, I don't know. It's too dark. I just think it's too dark. If I had one that was in pecan pie, possibly, but I don't, so it's not. Okay, this is our last leaf, and then we'll get the front going. Okay, and I want to cover the bottom of that stem a little bit because I didn't like it. There we go. Okay, so there's our easel stop. Already a nice little fall of leaves. And our next thing to do is to put on our two large leaves. Now I used both the big leaves in gathering moments. Okay, so this one and this one, I cut one from the earthen toned brown, and then I cut one from one of the pieces of the Gathering Together DSP. All right. And they're going to go, I'm going to pretty much adhere them together like that, and then they'll go on here. And the thing you want to watch is that you don't go past this edge. Okay, you don't even have to really do this with it closed like this, but you'll help yourself a little bit probably. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this little guy on first. Now here's how I did it. Okay, once I found where it needed to go, I held it with my finger and just lifted it up and put some liquid glue in these areas so I could sort of see where that was going to go. And then like that. Okay, and then we can put it back on, because what you're trying to do is avoid getting any glue over here so that you don't stick to the back of your card. Still making sense? Okay, I got to have a little glue right there. Little glue right there. Okay. And that is now adhered perfectly. Okay. So now that that is on, I can now adhere this little guy. And we're going to put him like so. Okay, so I'm just going to put some liquid glue in here, and that's going to be all, because I really don't want to risk him getting glue on the back of the card and holding him down. I don't want him to hold us down or hold us back. Okay, so there we go. All right, now let's make a sentiment, shall we? I have a piece of the DSP, this back piece. I like to use DSP for things if I can. Expressing heartfelt gratitude. And once again, we're going to play the Can I Get a Straight Sentiment for 1,000, Alex. Let's see if we can. And this is 1.5 inches wide, and I just left it long. And we're going, okay, everybody hold your breath again. You did a good job on the last one. So whatever you did on the last time, please do it again so I'll get it straight. Let's see what we get here. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it, Bob. Okay. Now, to get the length the way I want it, what I will do is I look and see. This is very technical. I hope you're paying attention. Maybe take notes here. Okay, I look and see about how much there is between this end and my sentiment. So it's a little over 1/8 of an inch. And then I find the end of this sentiment. So I'm going to go about 2.5 inches. And we should be just about right. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, let's close this guy up. I'm going to make us a little bow. It's going to be just a simple bow with 2 lengths of linen thread. I wanted to tell you guys while I'm making this bow, because I'm trying to distract you from how goofy my hands get when I'm trying to make a bow, because I just can't make a bow very good on camera, it seems like. But I'm going to start. Last year I did the 12 Saturdays before Christmas, and we're going to start that again. So that means that every Saturday between now and Christmas, see what I mean? Were you distracted? You didn't even know how bad a job I did there, because I was talking about something that you're thrilled and fascinated over. Okay, so I'm going to be doing 12 Saturdays before Christmas. So what that means is all of the videos between now and the weekend before Christmas, my cards for the Saturday videos are going to all be Christmas cards. Okay, so if you're still needing Christmas card ideas, the next 12 Saturdays are a good opportunity for you to get some ideas. And I will try to go between quick and easy and more complicated ones, so that you've got those cards to give to, you know, the people in your family you don't really like. You just don't, you want them to have a nice card. You want it to be pretty, but you don't want to take 45 minutes to make it. And then there will be a few that are a little more involved and have a few more layers and pieces and parts. Okay, so I'm going to try that. I make no promises that I will be successful at that mix and match, but I will certainly try. Okay, so now that I have that bow that you didn't see how badly I did it, I'm going to find where I want it. And I want my sentiment right about there. That looks good. And so I'm going to put him on with, let's use a glue dot. Come here, glue dots. Oh, I need to get rid of part of my extra here, don't I? I've got me a long tail that I can get rid of. Okay, here we go. And I'll take my tweezers. You can use a take your pick tool if you use that instead, but I like my tweezers. And hook down my little guy right there. And then I'm going to use, yes, you got it, double dimensionals over the top to get over that big bow. I mean, it's not a huge bow, but it's enough that if I didn't, especially given that my sentiment is on DSP, it's going to really be susceptible to bulges. Yes, so we're going to put our, we'll just go right ahead and put double dimensionals. Now I think this many is going to be a good start. I may need to make a couple more little stacks and slide them under, but we'll do that once we get it on the card front. And in case you're worried about the time, yes, I'm a little bit over, but we're almost done. We're also almost done, see? Okay, so now let me see if I can put this on straight. And we're gonna go right there. Okay, and yes, I do need some more dimensionals. So when you make a double stack like this, you can just do it right on the backing for the dimensionals, then take the final lid off like that, and use those tweezers, slide it right under. And where else did I want one? I think I want one more right there. And then we've got some of the new Cajun Craze and gold dots, which are wonderful. Cajun Craze goes together with gold like peanut butter and jelly. Okay, so that's our last thing to do, is add some of these pretty dots. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use a big one up here, like that. And then I'm going to use a medium and a small. A medium and a small. Actually, I don't love that. I'm not loving that. Let's put it right up here. There we go. Okay, now all I need to do is make our envelope and we'll be ready to roll. And I am going to use my big leaf, this guy, and I'll stamp him on the front in Stamped Off Once Crushed Curry, like that. And then I used that same dark wood DSP that I made this leaf with to decorate the envelope flap. Let's get you out of here. You're in the way now. You were helpful before, but now move along. Step out of the limelight. There we go. And just a little liquid glue. I did get a little carried away with there. All of you are gasping like, oh my gosh, she got carried away. Yes, it's true. It's true, I did. Okay, so the starter kit special is going on now. You've got until the end of the month to either purchase a discounted kit, which means you spend $35 and get $125 worth of product, or you spend the regular amount, which is $99, and you can pick $189 worth of product. Both of the kit options still have free shipping, and you get a kit of business supplies and a free paper pumpkin. Oh, and you know, everything you buy after that is 20% off. And you get to be a critter if you join with me, and I hope you will. Okay, guys, here you go. Triple easel display card. I think that's its name. I'll have to look. It's on my blog post for tomorrow. But isn't that pretty? Can't you see that? I think this would make a beautiful, I may need to make one of these like this as a Christmas card. Don't you think? I think it needs to have a Christmas card. All right, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm so sorry for the computer glitch, but I really am taking no ownership of that. That is all on YouTube. I hope you'll be back on Saturday, our first of 12 Christmas cards for the 12 Saturdays of Christmas. We'll start then, and I don't know what it's going to look like, but I hope you'll like it. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you on Saturday. Thanks, guys. Bye.